What's good, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the What's Good Games podcast, your source for video game news, commentary, analysis, and the funny stuff every Friday. I'm Andrea Renee, joined in studio by one Christine Steimer.
Hello.
And coming to us live, not live, that's a lie, from Seattle, it's Riana Manuel.
Hey.
Hey, girl,
sort of
hey. I love how you have this.
live.
She's live to tape.
You're technically live to us, but not live to everybody listening on podcast services or at youtube.com/whatsgoodgames. But I do like that you got the That's What She Said pillow repping in the background. Very nice.
Yeah,
Brittany
gotta
is,
represent.
Oh, sorry to cut you off there. Brittany is taking the week off this week. She has got some family stuff going on and really just needs a little break, like we all do sometimes. We'll be talking more about all needing breaks a little bit later on in the show. Thank you so much to everybody who joined us this past weekend on our What's Good Games anniversary stream. I know Brett and I talked about it on the Monday show, but we cannot thank you guys enough for showing up and being so supportive and so generous with your subs and your donations, for the people who bought Pride shirts, for the people who bought the Defenders of Video Game City pins, which, by the way, we do still have a few left. And if you're wondering why you haven't gotten an order update, it's because I'm managing all the orders and I've been having some trouble getting my printing machine that does all the labels for the envelopes shipped to me. So thank you for your patience in advance. Don't worry, I have all the orders. You will get your pin. We do have a few left, of course, those amazing Powerpuff inspired Defenders of Video Game City pin created by Pickle Dilbert. Yes? I think that's right.
Dilbert Pickle.
I always get it backwards. Sorry, Matt.
You just like pickles. It's cool.
Yeah, I mean, now I just want a pickle. They were an amazing custom item that we designed to sell at PAX East, but because of the pandemic, they were delayed, and now I've got them, and we decided why not sell them and give some money away to charity. $5 from every pin sold goes to the Stay in the Game Fund, which benefits 4 different mental health charities. You can learn more about that at givebutter.com/stayinthegame. And you can also see our team on that page, the What's Good Games team, and it'd be great if you want to donate.
Did you say butter like Butter?
Correct.
I heard butter, yeah.
Okay.
Give Butter. That is the website.
All right.
What is interesting about the Give Butter website versus some other donation websites is that they take lower fees so that more of your dollar goes towards charity instead of towards administrative costs, which is why the Stay in the Game Fund charities decided to use the Give Butter website, which I think is really awesome because it's obviously necessary to make sure the platforms run and that people get paid for their time. But of course, you want as much of your dollar as possible to go to the charity that you're donating to. And Give Butter is doing their best to make sure as much as possible does. And that's why the Stay in the Game folks, including Anita Sarkeesian, who we had on the show, used that platform. Just a little, the more you know about that.
Nice.
Speaking of the Monday show, if you haven't joined us yet, Brittany and I are live every Monday at twitch.tv/whatsgoodgames at 11 a.m. Pacific time. If you guys aren't able to join us live, don't worry. You can still send questions in for us to answer on the show to whatsgoodgames.com/DearWGG, or you can also catch that on your favorite podcast app, or of course at youtube.com/whatsgoodgames. Speaking of supporting What's Good Games, you guys know that Amazon Prime gives you a free Twitch subscription every month?
I did know that.
Did you also know that, kind of annoyingly, you have to go back and re-gift that sub every single month?
Did know that.
Kind of a pain in the booty. We get it, but it helps everything we do here at What's Good Games. So if you have Amazon Prime, it costs you nothing to give What's Good Games your Twitch subscription. All you have to do is link your Twitch account to your Amazon account, then go back to our Twitch page and go subscribe. Boom.
Boom.
Boop. The magic happens.
Give us a good boop.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like boops. Steimer, tell me about this drinking game that you and Brittany did last week.
Oh boy.
Didn't drink again. Oh, I was like, I
Ghosts
don't know.
of
So
Tsushima.
yeah, so basically because I keep saying ghosts, like plural. And then I was saying Tsushima before instead of like, and then when we actually watched the State of Play, and I was like, oh, I keep saying this name wrong. So it was basically like take a drink if one of us messes up the names. I will say I feel like she messed up once. I don't think I messed up at all. The only time there was a hiccup was when the copy was incorrect. And so I was reading directly from the copy and then screwed it up. But I was like, technically that wasn't me. That was the writing.
It was like when Xbox Game Pass was first announced and everyone, including myself, And Greg, if you guys remember on KFGD, we had a famous bet about it. We're seeing Xbox Games Pass instead of Game Pass. And I feel like Ghost of Tsushima is the same way. And like the Tsushima versus Tsushima thing was something that I only noticed because John pointed it out while we were watching the demo when PlayStation streamed it. Did you pick that up, Ree, that they say Tsushima versus Tsushima?
Yeah, and like typically for the Japanese, like the first syllable is the one you accent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did notice.
If only our Japanese expert Brittany Brownbacher was here. No, she's not a Japanese expert, but we do love her.
She's a Japanese learner.
Exactly. Thank you to this month's Patreon producers, Chewy's Godson, Alex Rigopulos, Faris Attieh, Mohammed Mohammed, Marcus Brown, Punkdefied, and Molly Bittner. Boy, it was nice to talk to Molly on the anniversary stream. She's just such a good person.
Delight.
Such a delight.
Also,
so amazing in the Facebook group. Great mod.
And a genuine rocket scientist, which we talked to her about. If you missed our interview with Molly, you can watch the entire archive of the stream on our Twitch channel. We will be breaking that out eventually into some smaller bits and pieces. There are lots of funny clips that people have posted on our channel. If you go to twitch.tv/whatsgoodgames and click on the clips tab, enjoy the funny stuff that awaits you there. But a big thank you to Molly for being part of our stream, and to everybody whose islands and Animal Crossing that we visited. Also super fun. And don't forget, we are selling Pride merch at whatsgoodgames.com/store, and 100% of the profits from our Pride designs go to GLAAD, the Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation, which is doing fantastic work in video games to make sure that representation is done correctly and that representation is becoming more prevalent. So thank you to GLAAD for all of the tireless work that they do, and know that those t-shirts and other designs, tank tops, handbags, pillows, etc., the profits, 100% of the profits go to GLAAD. Thank you to everybody who joined our Patreon community this past week. Namtran, Charles McBride, Kenda Pilger, Michael Hedrick, Rafael Viviera Costa, Gretchen Carlson, Lena, Brian, Stephanie DuPont, Christopher Billia, Josie Grace, Jeff Morris, and Sammy Nichols. You can join and support What's Good Games at patreon.com/whatsgoodgames. And thank you to our brand new 5-star podcast reviewers, Iconic Scale, Fenris Gunnarsson, Tommy GIY, Losperman, a Trots 5, Lucky Bishop, The Drewsters, Kev Sowers, and Mista Fast. I was going to pull a really funny clip from a 1-star review, but we don't have any. Isn't that exciting?
Hey, look at that.
I think everyone's trying to get Brittany to do that somersault that she
they want to see it. She better start stretching.
Oh, boy.
Exactly. And now let's get into the news. But before we do that, I want to tell you today's news segment is brought to you by Bespoke Post. If your mailbox is anything like mine, and it's a little sad these days, not very many people sending me mail. That's why it's such a depressing place. All I get, political flyers, the grocery store coupons, of course, the utility bills. And did I mention coupons? Because there's even more coupons. But once a month, I do have a reason to be stoked, and that's because of Box of Awesome from Bespoke Post. I love my desk items that I got in my little home office kit. So I've got this cute little leather writing pad that I put underneath my laptop, and it's great for when you get pens that stop working and you like bang them on the desk or whatever. You're like, why aren't you working, pen? But the leather writing pen just smooths that ball out right away. And I've got this really cool little timer, you know, those sand timers that you flip.
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really neat. It makes me feel classy even when I'm working from home in my pajamas. And Steimer's got these cool fancy Moscow Mule cups, which we talked about not that long ago. Anywho, enough about our posts. Bespoke Post sends folks only the best stuff every month, and no matter what you're into, Box of Awesome has you covered. From style and grooming goods to barware, cooking tools, outdoor gear, Box of Awesome has carefully built collections for every part of your life. The new chill box that they just debuted looks perfect for backyard and balcony picnics this summer. While you might not be able to throw a big cookout, it doesn't mean you can't keep your drinks cold while you're drinking outside by yourself enjoying the sun. If you guys want to get started, you can take the quiz at boxofawesome.com. Your answers will help them pick the right Box of Awesome for you. They release new boxes every month across a ton of different categories. It's free to sign up, and you can skip a month or cancel anytime. Each box costs only $45, but you get over $70 worth of gear inside. To get 20% off your first monthly box when you sign up at boxofawesome.com, enter the code What's Good at checkout. That's boxofawesome, just like it sounds, .com. Use that code What's Good for 20% off your first box. It's a great way to kind of browse for new stuff that maybe you don't have that might brighten your day. Boxofawesome.com, promo code What's Good for 20% off your first box. So the first story is really more of an announcement than anything. The new Game Plus Expo is going to showcase 40 games from Sega, Atlas, and more. Steimer, would you like to read this one?
Oh my goodness gracious.
No pressure.
Yeah. A group of Japanese and North American publishers will hold a new Game Plus Expo to showcase 40 games from Sega, Atlas, and more. As events like Gamescom move to a fully digital showcase this year, while other video game conference mainstays like E3 have canceled its 2020 production altogether due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, companies are finding new ways to showcase the games that they have coming this year and beyond. Announced on May 20th, 14 publishers from North America and Japan will join together on June 23rd to showcase 40 games. New Game Plus Expo is a grassroots coalition of publishers and developers, New Game Plus Expo's Adam Johnson said. Organizing together for the first time, we hope fans have fun as we take a look at the combined lineup of games for 2020 and beyond. The showcase of games will join the likes of Microsoft's Xbox 2020 monthly updates, Guerrilla Collective's Indie Game Showcase, Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest, and IGN's very own Summer of Gaming event. The following publishers will show games during the New Game Plus Expo: Axel? I actually don't know how to pronounce that. Axis Games, Arc System Works America, Gung Ho America, Idea Factory International, Inti Creates, Koei Tecmo America, Natsume Inc., NIS America, Playism, Sega of America, SNK Corporation, Spike Chunsoft Inc., and Way Forward.
This definitely feels like a lot of Asian publishers that are kind of in that middleware category, just kind of banding together, being like, yo,
together,
Atlas,
our powers combined.
they're gonna Voltron up.
Yeah.
Because like Atlas, Sega.
Hey, Atlas makes Persona. Don't talk shit.
No, you didn't even hear what I was about to say.
You said called it mid-tier before. But my poor sad heart. It's fine.
But like when you talk about the caliber and sales of that game, it is, right? It's not considered like AAA blockbuster. It's just not. And I think what it was important is that my point was that none of these publishers can really afford to do a digital showcase on their own, nor would they probably drive TuneIn by themselves because so many of their games are very niche, right? If you look at this lineup of publishers like Koei Tecmo, right? Like they just do smaller games that serve a very specific audience. And I think those games absolutely deserve to have a place in Summer Game Fest or IGN's Days of Summer. But it's like, where do they belong? Like, does it make sense for them to do their own individual announcement? I think collectively banding together like this means that they're going to have a lot more lift in social media chatter and publicity, marketing, pickup, etc., than they would if they tried to do stuff on their own.
Yeah, I think seeing this is really interesting because everyone's sort of scrambling to figure out what we do when we don't have an E3. And we've talked about this on the show many times, but truly it is important to have a concentrated moment for everyone to talk about games at the same time because so many of these games would get lost. And as you said, Andrea, banding together is almost a necessity at this point. Otherwise, their news would be completely missed by most of their audience.
Absolutely. So you can mark it in your calendars for
June 23rd.
June 23rd. I think the time was like either 9 or 10 a.m. Pacific time. I'd have to double check, but it's sometime in the morning. And you can hear all the new stuff.
Fingers crossed for there's not going to be, but I'm just like, give me more Persona. That's cool.
What do you think?
They've already got.
Are you already ready for Persona 6?
Because it would take them forever to actually get it out. Sure, you can just like give me a logo. That's
Drop
fine.
a teaser trailer.
I don't need nothing more than a logo.
I'm down for that.
They won't do it, but I would be like, hee.
I mean, I have obviously no interest in Persona, but have you played Royal? I've heard like great things from everybody who's played.
No, but because Royal is really kind of the same thing, but with
I've
a
heard
little
that
extra.
like 20% of the game is different. That there's like
20% of like 80 hours though. I don't know. I just feel like I can't quite do that investment for I mean, maybe I can. Hell, I don't know what sort of time we've got going on in the future. Maybe I will.
2020 is going to be the longest year of our goddamn lives.
Gonna be an interesting time. Maybe I will have time to go back through and play Persona again. Who can say?
All right, let's move on to the next story. Rihanna, I would love to hear from you on this one. Go ahead, take it away.
Yeah, so the headline from Bloomberg is Ubisoft sues Apple, Google over Alibaba's Rainbow Six ripoff. So, quote, Area F2, created by Alibaba Group Holdings Ltd. in ejoy.com, is a, quote, near carbon copy of Rainbow Six Siege, and that can't be seriously disputed, Ubisoft said in a complaint filed Friday in federal court in Los Angeles. Rainbow Six Siege, or R6S, has 55 million registered players around the world, according to Ubisoft's copyright infringement lawsuit, and is played by more than 3 million people every day. R6S is also played as a competitive esport, with professional and semi-professional teams competing for millions of dollars in prizes. Quote, R6S is among the most popular competitive multiplayer games in the world and is among Ubisoft's most valuable intellectual properties, the French company said. Virtually every aspect of AF2 is copied from R6S, from the operator selection screen to the final scoring screen and everything in between. Representatives of Google had no immediate comment on the lawsuit. Alibaba and Apple didn't immediately respond to requests for comment made after regular business hours. The game is based on Clancy's novel about so this is referring to Rainbow Six. The game is based on Clancy's novel about a counterterrorism unit, and Ubisoft's competitors are constantly looking ways to piggyback on R6S's popularity and to capture the attention and money of R6S players. Alibaba acquired eJoy in 2017 to increase its presence in online and mobile gaming. And a little background on eJoy. eJoy started promoting Area F2 in the U.S. late last year through YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. The game became available to the public for download on mobile phones and tablets last month, according to the complaint. Ubisoft said it has notified Apple and Google that Area F2 is infringing its copyright, but the companies have refused to remove the game from the Google Play and Apple App Stores. Now, there is an update. Currently, game servers are offline. The company has made no mention of the suit in a recent post on the game's website explaining their shutdown, saying only that it was, quote, carrying out improvements to Area F2 in order to deliver a better experience to players.
So,
suspect.
This is really interesting. So I'm not surprised at all that this has become litigious. I actually saw this game a couple of months back when they started promoting it, and I was like, that's definitely a Rainbow Six ripoff, but there's so many knockoffs and clones in the app stores that I was just like, whatever, it probably won't go anywhere. I'm sure Ubisoft's legal team is on it, but we didn't hear anything about it. And I want to give a shout out to Spelt Wrong Brit for bringing this up in the chat on the Monday show. It had just broke then, and we didn't have time to corroborate it. So we're like, hey, let's just not cover it here. We'll take a look at it and cover it in today's show. So thank you, Britt, for pointing that out to us. And also, I want to give a quick note to these numbers from Rainbow Six Siege. 55 million registered players around the world and 3 million daily players. I had no idea the daily player count was so high.
Big numbers. Those are big numbers.
Yeah, especially for a game that old.
That is phenomenal. So congrats to the Ubisoft team. Obviously, Ray and I are big Rainbow Six fans. We got to stream again soon. But what do you think about this, Ree? What do you think about this Area F2 knockoff? Because like you were talking about checking out the screenshots. It's like it very much is like just Rainbow Six.
It's undeniable, honestly, like down to like the character select screens, the way they're posing, the visual ID of the icons, like Tachanka, Lord and Savior's turret symbol literally looks like it was taken, flipped over horizontally, and then maybe lengthened a little bit and they added one line to the bottom. Like it's very clear that this looks like Rainbow Six and that it's trying to look like Rainbow Six, because as you said, with 55 million players, there's no way they didn't know this existed already.
Yeah, no, I mean, especially if they're like mirror flipping the
Yeah, they
Simple,
can't
like,
even.
They're like, no, we just want you to get confused, and we want you to think that this is a real thing. So come on over. I've got some candy, little boy.
I feel like doing knockoffs is one thing. Doing straight art asset stealing and then just doing minor adjustments is egregious in a way that's disgusting.
It's not, to me, it's all the same. Like, I feel like people just do that now.
I mean, they do.
Well,
and I'm guessing that they're just trying to get away with it. But generally, you don't see it from companies as large as Alibaba, because Alibaba is giant. I mean, they're giant on the scale that like Alphabet is giant with Google. And so I was just like, when I heard this, I was like, well, this is a kind of a bummer. But I hope that Ubisoft gets their money and that they get their team paid and that they get all
the
of the damages that they're owing. Get your money.
Yeah.
But the lawsuit aside, they also announced, the Ubisoft team announced that there's new Rainbow Six content coming. So I got the press release that I have here. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but essentially it's the second season for 2020 of Siege for year 5. That's year 5 that we're in now. That's wild to think about.
Wow.
But the game just gets better. Operation Steel Wave is what it's called, and it introduces 2 new operators, Ace and Malusi, a new attacker and a defender from Norway and South Africa, in addition to an entirely reworked house map and a slew of gameplay changes. We won't go too deep into the weeds here, except to say that the operators look like they are from... They look like they're from factions that I'm not too familiar with.
Yeah, they're unfamiliar for sure. Ace looks like... Ace is the attacker. Ace is from... Looks like a rescue unit of some type. And then Malusi, the defender, has a very interesting character design with her braids. But aside from that, they're not very familiar at all. Like, they don't clearly belong to any of the factions that we've seen yet.
Do you think her braid design is a South African thing?
It's not a Fulani design. It looks like it's too thick. It looks like hair on top of hair. So I would imagine that it was just something that they didn't animate or didn't draft out natively. Like, it's something put on top of an existing player's skin, which is fine.
Now that I see it up close, it does look like a wig. Like, it looks like a cornrow wig almost.
Yeah, it's... I mean, they tried.
As someone who has literally amazing hair every time, how do you feel about this choice, Ree? Are you mad about it, or are you like, I'll take the representation?
Oh, I mean, it's always a mixed bag with hair and representation for Black women specifically. But I mean, they gave it a go. And other than her hair, she looks cool. It's a very interesting gadget that she has. So I'll give them a pass on this one. I have a lot of love for Rainbow Six, so they'll get the forgiveness this time.
So what's her gadget? I haven't looked at this. I just pulled up the video so that Steimer and I can take a look at some operator gameplay. I'm trying to fast forward
so for Malusi, the defender, her gadget is the Banshee Sonic Defense, and it looks a lot like Jaeger's I would forget what it's called, whatever the anti-grenade, where you can put it on walls or surfaces, and it emits a pulse sonically that will slow and disorient people as they approach it. And from what I can read here, you actually have to disable it by hitting it or by hitting it with something very, very close range. So it seems pretty decent on slowing people down. And that, in combination with the new proximity alarm, which is a sticky grenade that you could probably put on a ceiling, this could be a real problem for really aggressive attackers.
I like that they're putting in some of these defenses for aggressive attackers, because I think that it kind of changes up the dynamic. Even though I think we all agree that being the defending team always feels inherently easier than being the attacking team, which is why we got the really aggressive defender in the last round, the guy whose name I can't remember, but he can like jump up through levels.
Oryx,
yep, that's him.
Yeah.
But if you guys aren't playing Rainbow Six, or you've never played Rainbow Six, now is a great time to jump in. There's so much happening in the game. The Operation
Steel Wave?
When does it? Do you have a date there? Did I just not put the date in of when it goes live?
Live date. I see all the notes here on
it.
it.
On the video?
They announced this week.
In the description box, they might have it.
I could also pull up the press release again. Sorry, everybody listening.
Oops. Nope, it's not in the description box either. So either they don't have a date or it's, I don't know. Yo no sé.
Yeah,
I don't see it.
I'm not seeing it
just,
either.
you know,
maybe there's no, maybe it's
at
like
some
TBD.
point in the future, this will be in the game.
Happening soon.
Happening after this show airs. 100%.
We're not giving you the
guaranteed.
actual date. We're just going to keep you guessing.
Yeah.
Yes, we will. Does this really, did they really not say anything?
Live on May 19th. It's
That's
live now.
on the test server.
So that's the test server.
Test
server.
That's the test server. The test server is live now. So that means it's probably going live soon if it's on the test server.
Soon TM.
Yeah, we'll get in there and try it out and see how many Thatchers and Jaegers there are trying to neutralize these new heroes or these new operators.
I'm down. Let's play, girl. Let's play. Okay,
Yes.
moving on. Mafia Trilogy includes a complete remake of the first Mafia game and the remaster of Mafia 2. So did you guys miss the news that Mafia is happening? It's back, but it's not new. It's just the same old Mafia, but now shinier and prettier.
Ooh.
IGN writes, games and Hangar 13 have, that's 2K Games, and Hangar 13 have officially unveiled the Mafia Trilogy. 2K Games previously announced the collection in a short teaser, and a leak online tipped the internet off about the definitive editions. The first Mafia has been completely remade from the ground up. The complete remake includes a new game engine, updated script, new cutscenes, added gameplay sequences, and more. And that definitely sounds like a remake versus a remaster to me. However, Mafia 1 won't be available to play until August 28th, 2020. Meanwhile, Mafia 2 Definitive Edition is available now as part of the trilogy, and it also received an Ultra HD remaster. The Definitive Edition follows cab driver turned mobster Tommy Angelino as he joins the ranks of the Salieri crime family during Prohibition.
Just say it with an Italian accent.
Salieri. The first Mafia is set in the fictional city of Lost Heaven, Illinois. In case you wanted a little bit of info, of course, you can learn all about Mafia on the internet if you want to know more.
Don't just Google Mafia. Other things will come up.
Oh boy.
Or,
search Mafia video game.
Or live your best life and go down that rabbit hole. The screens and the footage that I saw looked really good. I have never really been into Mafia as a franchise because I'm like, I don't really want to play as a bunch of gangsters.
Because you're in the Mafia in real life.
Well,
Ooh.
don't out me. Jeez. I'm trying to keep my cover not being blown,
Whoops,
Steimer.
sorry. I find it weird that they're like, you can play Mafia 2 right now, but sorry, Mafia 1's going to take some more time. Like, yes, I love playing games out of order.
Yeah, not ideal.
I mean, I assume that's just for like, ooh, if you're already a fan and you just want to play it prettier. That should be the tagline for all HD remakes. Play it.
Play it prettier.
Play it, but prettier.
Play it again, prettier.
Yes.
It's got a ring to it.
We'll finesse it.
That's
something.
Keep finessing it. I am interested, though, that they have a new script, new cutscenes, and added gameplay sequences. I think that is something that would entice fans who have been along the ride for the Mafia franchise since the beginning to go back and actually invest in buying these games again and saying, hey, like maybe I'll go back. Or, people who have never played who maybe were interested in the more recent Mafia games go, well, maybe now I'll put my foot in the door. So
yeah, I feel like this what this says to me is that Mafia 2 was the more solid of the games. So they were like, we can just give that a little freshening up. Mafia 1 needs a little more work. Let's just get it.
It was a little rough chuckles when we went back into the game code.
Yeah, you know what? It needs maybe a little bit more of a nip and tuck than the other one.
Now I want to go back and rewatch Nip Tuck. Dang you, Steimer.
Sorry, I've never watched that.
Oh, FX content. Okay, in case you missed it, GenCon is the latest victim of the COVID-19 pandemic. The largest tabletop gaming convention is officially canceled. It was going to take place June 30th through August 2nd. Yes, that's correct. July 30th through August 2nd. That would have been a very long convention. In
the entire
Indianapolis. And word happened this week. And the official news release also happened. Quote, this will be the first time in 50-plus year history of GenCon that we'll miss the chance to see each other in person, and it hurts, said Peter Adkisson, the co-owner of GenCon. But nothing is more important to us than the health and safety of our attendees and the communities they hail from. So that's sad, bummer town, but of all the kinds of cons that you would want to take extra precautions around, tabletop where you're all sharing
Touching the same
game
thing,
pieces feels like, dude, we gotta figure that out, and July is just not enough time to figure it out.
Nope.
So that's a bummer. Hopefully people we know weren't affected. But in some more interesting news, PlayStation, in the several teases of content that they've been doing over the last week or so, put out some random press releases about the fact that PlayStation had a really successful generation. In fact, so successful that 41.5 million people are currently subscribed to PlayStation Plus.
You're welcome. Those PlayStation Plus videos that I did when I worked there, that was all me.
Yeah.
Steimer,
congrats, Steimer. Congrats to just Steimer.
Where are
Just
your
me.
royalties on this?
Oh, yeah, $0.
Where are the points?
$0.
Oh my goodness. PlayStation acknowledged that due to the pandemic, their numbers are through the roof. No surprise. In fact, even their struggling streaming service is doing great. PlayStation Now has 2.2 million monthly users, up 1 million users from this time last year.
That's
Wow.
those poor sad people. Everybody's sad at home.
Those poor sad people.
Sad and lonely.
They're just like, what can we do? What can we? I don't know. I guess PlayStation Now. That's like the
What do I
last
do with my
resort.
thumbs?
You're like, I already have PlayStation Plus. It's not enough. How is it not enough? I don't know.
What's great about PlayStation Now for people who are looking to play new games that obviously not pay full price for new games, they have an offering similar to Xbox Game Pass, but I still maintain that Game Pass is a better value. However, if you're more entrenched in the Sony first-party titles, then you're going to want to spend your $9.99 on PlayStation Now versus Xbox Game Pass. And I will say that it's come a long way. It's still not great, but the functionality of PlayStation Now is much, much better today than it was. So if you kind of wrote PlayStation Now off and you're like, oh, it's trash, it never works, I would,
Now is the time for PlayStation Now.
Oh, look at that.
the marketing
2-in-1
writes itself,
podcast.
everybody.
Good night.
Sony, we'll
Thank
be
you
waiting
very
for
much.
our royalty check. Thank you. You can send it to us here at What's Good Games. Anyway, just
I'll
want to
take
give
all
a
your
big
money.
congrats. Good job, PlayStation. You're continuing to crush this generation. Stop
Yes.
teasing us about what games you're going to show on your next gen console. Just show them already.
No, actually, I mean, as much as I love the games, I actually don't care. I want to see the console, and here's why. I need to buy a new TV stand, and I need to know how it's going to fit into it. So give me the dimensions. Xbox has been kind to us. Xbox has shown us the console. They have given us the dimensions. I know exactly how big I need my new TV stand to be. I have zero idea for you, PlayStation. Give me a heads up. Give a girl a chance. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
fair.
I think that there's a lot of unknowns about PlayStation 5. I think there's a lot of things that Mark Cerny promised us about its performance that we have, yet to really see with our own eyes. I would like to see the console as well. It was interesting because I've been rebuilding the studio desk here to accommodate for a more friendly streaming and editing setup, and I had to make the decision about where I wanted to put the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X, and the Xbox One X has just got a nicer, sleeker, more compact form factor. The PS4 Pro is just a big, loud boy, and I want to put it in the corner where it belongs. Be like, you're too big, you're too loud. Go sit in the corner.
Oh,
What if the new PlayStation, they won't do it, but it'd be amazing if they did, had a mode that was like nighttime mode, and it's just Mark Cerny reading you bedtime stories before you go to sleep. And then when it's done, the PlayStation turns off and turns everything off in your house, and then you go to sleep.
well, that's nice.
Wouldn't that be
That'd
a nice
lovely.
feature?
It'd be like Alexa, but Mark
Cerny.
Cerny. Imagine if you
Actually,
could
I
ask
would be
Mark
way more
Cerny.
into that. I don't have smart things in my house like that. Like I don't talk to anything besides myself in my house.
You're like, Mark, what's the weather going to be today?
It would be it would actually be really delightful to like sit there and feel like you're talking to Mark Cerny. What if he just taught you stuff? What if it was like Bill Nye, but Mark Cerny in an Alexa?
I'm definitely
Why
here
doesn't
for
Bill
it.
Nye have? Now I'm like, hold on, this is brilliant. We need Bill Nye up in Alexa.
Get his
like,
agent on the phone.
being like, just teach me some science today. And he'll be like, here's some science. And you'd be like, awesome. Great.
That would be nice.
Thank
Gosh,
you.
I feel like this has to exist, doesn't it?
Doesn't it? I mean, again, I don't own an Alexa or a Google Home or whatever those things are. I don't own any of them. So maybe this does exist, but
They have a lot of custom voices. I don't think Mark Cerny is on that list, though.
no, that would be a PlayStation exclusive.
I mean, that's a system seller right there, everybody.
Yeah.
And on that note, let's go into our break. When we come back, we're going to talk about what we've been playing. Stick with us. We'll see you shortly. Here's the break music, enjoy it. Boop, boop. Here's the break music, enjoy it. Boop, boop. What's good, everybody? Welcome back. It is the second segment of the What's Good Games podcast, and this is where we talk about what we've been playing. But before we do that, I've got a little message that I'd like to share with you. With everything going on in the world, it's more important than ever to care for one another. Whether it's a friend you see every day or family you don't get to see enough. We can all feel isolated or overwhelmed during the current crisis. So check up on your friends. Check in on your loved ones. It doesn't matter if it's a text or a phone call, but also check up on yourself. Give a call, reach out, offer your support, get their support in return. That's what friends and family are for, to check up on each other. And we here at What's Good Games want to remind you that if you need support, you can always reach out to NAMI, the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization, to get support for yourself and learn how to support others. Visit NAMI.org, that's NAMI.org, or call 1-800-950-NAMI. That's 1-800-950-6264. And remember, you're not alone. I love this message, and I love that it piggybacks on the message from our longtime partners at Take This of it's okay to not be okay. And we talk about it all the time amongst ourselves, but sometimes we feel ashamed about admitting that we have mental health problems, or that we're having moments of weakness, or that we're feeling stressed or sad, or if you're like me, you just burst out into tears and you don't know why. It's happened to me many times since the pandemic began, and it's okay. It's okay to have feelings. It's okay to have emotions, and it's even okay to not know how to feel about those feelings. But there's people and resources out there for you. If you don't have somebody in your friend circle that you feel comfortable talking to, if you don't have a family member that you can go to, don't forget our friends at Take This are always there. If you go to takethis.org, they have licensed clinicians that can help refer you to professionals if you need to take it a step further, or if you just want to chat. So if you want to just explore what your options are in the comfort of your home and in the privacy of whatever room makes you feel the most safe, TakeThis.org is a great resource for you, in addition to NAMI as well. All right, time to talk about what we've been playing. But before we do that, I want to let you know it's brought to you by Upstart. So most of us have found out the hard way that getting into debt is easy and getting out of debt is really hard, especially if your credit score isn't great. Thankfully, now there's Upstart.com. The revolutionary lending platform that knows you're more than just your credit score and offers smarter interest rates to help you pay off high interest credit card debt. I remember vividly being in Los Angeles during the Great Recession and feeling completely overwhelmed that none of my collection of part-time jobs were making ends meet. And I just put all of my expenses on credit cards, racking up a crazy amount of debt. If Upstart had been there back then, perhaps I wouldn't have been subject to so many crazy fees and penalties that I went through that took me years to dig myself out of. And we know that a lot of you are struggling right now too. So hopefully you can look at all of your options, and maybe Upstart is an option for you. They go beyond the traditional credit score when assessing your credit worthiness. They actually reward you based on your education and your job history in the form of a smarter rate. Upstart believes that you're more than just your credit score. They believe in you, a person with a face and a name and feelings. They make it fast and simple and easy to check your rate. And since it's just a soft pull, it's not going to affect your credit score, because that's incredibly important to keep track of. The hard pull, though, does happen if you accept their rate. The best part, though, once the loan is approved and accepted, most people get their funds the very next business day. So if you're in a pinch and you need some help, Upstart can be there for you. Over 400,000 people have used Upstart to pay off credit cards or meet their financial goals, and you can free yourself from the burden of high-interest credit card debt by consolidating everything into one easy monthly payment with Upstart. To see why Upstart is top ranked in their category with 4.9 out of a 5-star rating on Trustpilot, go to upstart.com/what'sgood to find out how low your rate is. Checking your rate only takes a few minutes, and you can get it by going to upstart.com/what'sgood. Again, that's upstart.com/what'sgood. So, Rihanna.
Yeah.
There was some big Apex news that's been happening. In addition to some of the patch notes and the other things that they're working through and how their PvE thing kind of broke their game a little bit, they also have all this other content, and you've dove back into Apex. How's it going?
It's great. Apex is one of my favorite games, honestly, and it's probably going to be one of my most played games this year again, because the hits just keep on coming. So the big news of this update is the new character Loba, and a lot of people remember when the Revenant character was teased. There was a cinematic that they put out where Revenant, a biotic man, placed into a robot body, went after a dignitary, murdered that person, and there was a little girl left behind who was standing over or leaning over her father's dead body, and she had the fire in her eyes staring at Revenant as he dove out a window or whatever. So everybody was looking at that little girl in the Revenant reveal saying ooh, she better be the next character. I said that because she looked mad as hell and I wanted to see her tear shit up, and that's exactly what we have. So that little girl grew up to be Loba. She is a master thief, and she is sworn revenge on the Revenant character, and that's what brings her to the Apex arena. And her moveset is pretty killer. So the way that her tactical works is she has a bracelet that she can throw, and then wherever it lands, she can teleport to that spot. Now, that alone in Apex is pretty major because, as you know, in a lot of shooters, especially a lot of battle royales, positioning is everything. And with Loba, there's still so much unpredictability with where she's going to end up going, and you can't exactly tell where she's going to land because she can cut that throw of her bracelet short and drop in the middle of her arc. And it's been so fun to sneak up behind people or to just barrel past everybody else trying to make it to the safe zone, or just get up on a high ledge that nobody thought you could reach before with her and get the advantage on people positionally. And I haven't even gotten to her ultimate yet. Loba's great. Loba's great.
Love the art styling of this character. I love the braids. I love the corset with the little peplum. I like
wolf
the thigh
staff thing.
straps. I mean, her whole art design is great. And just as a quick refresher, Apex Legends, of course, the battle royale game that Respawn launched with EA last year. It's been crushing it. They won a bunch of awards in the various different awards ceremonies and shows that happened over the last couple of months. So she looks bomb. I feel like teleporting ability is a little unfair in a battle royale game.
So there are counters.
Not if you
to
pick her
her
as your character. It's not.
I mean, if she's your main, no big deal. But no, there are some counters to Loba. Of course, Revenant has a tactical suppression ability so that you couldn't use the bracelet to get out of situations or get behind
just hitting the
people.
wrong button.
Mute.
There you
My
go.
bad. Continue.
But yeah, there's ways to react to Loba, and the cooldown on her bracelet is pretty high, so she's not throwing this thing, every 2 seconds. There's a bit of a gap between every time that she has the ability to use the tactical. And her ultimate is completely unrelated to movement. What she does with her ultimate is she sets up her staff. It opens up an item shop that anybody, friendly or enemy, can use to loot up to 2 items in the radius around that staff. So it has nothing to do with movement. It's more about speed and getting through things quickly and, getting all the items that you want in a specific area. Her passive lets her see high value items through walls. So again, not movement related. She's not completely kitted out to get the positional advantage on people, but boy, oh boy, when you get that bracelet throw right and you land on a hill right behind somebody and they're like, I don't know what's happening, and you just shoot them in the back, it feels really good.
You're like, you're like, it feels so good to kill somebody with no honor.
It does a little.
I haven't seen any of the community reactions so far. What are people thinking about Loba?
Surprisingly, people aren't always picking Loba. She's not in every team comp. What we're seeing a lot of right now, quite honestly, is Mirage, who got an incredible buff with this update. So Mirage is a character who creates a clone of himself whenever he uses his tactical ability, and that clone used to just run in a straight line like a dummy AI. Now that clone, it was pretty obvious to spot. But now that clone can move independently because it mimics your actions. So you can send a clone like 4 yards to your left and then move to your right, and it looks like your clone's moving to the right. You can use it to like pretend to peek around corners to draw out fire from enemy teams. Also, when Mirage is reviving a teammate, now both individuals go invisible. So Mirage is now similar to Lifeline, that you can run in and revive somebody with little to no risk. Also, Mirage's ultimate now I believe it lasts longer and you can crawl faster. So it's just each of Mirage's clones do more independently AI wise, so they're more convincing. And I've seen Mirage in pretty much every single team that I've come up against.
Was Mirage just not being used at all before? Were they like, ooh, we better buff this boy?
Here and there. I think they may have overdone it a bit.
Fine-tuning needs to be done.
It's almost like balancing is super easy and everybody can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
numbers.
They may have overcorrected.
It's interesting
it's good.
because it feels like a character like that is obviously a support character, right? And you want to have those in team comp, but again, in a battle royale, like being the support character in your squad is really not the best position to play, because if you get eliminated, I mean, you're more at risk to get eliminated. It's not like a tactical game, right? It's not like Rainbow, right? And so I get why people were maybe really hesitant to play more defensive forward players in a battle royale than a more team-based game, you know, like tactical shooters, or even like, you know, MOBAs or other kind of squad-based PvP type situations. But the gameplay looks good. I honestly have not really even touched Apex, but now that the PvE is live, I feel like I need you to like Sherpa me through. Would you do that?
I will gladly. I will take anyone through Apex. It is such a fun game. Like, besides the fact that it's a battle royale and that not a lot of people are into that, and I understand it, the shooting feels great. The audio is great. The movement is great. It is just a really well-made game. And the fact that it is free is absolutely ridiculous. Like, you should definitely play it if you haven't yet.
Yeah, how is the monetization in the game?
It's super fair. It's all cosmetic, but I want it all. So it feels like they did it right.
Isn't that just the thing? All these free-to-play games that are massively successful put out the coolest cosmetics, and you're like, but why is it $10?
Because the game is free.
As soon as I got Loba, I got a new skin for her.
Because they got to make them money.
Yeah,
like, what do the Loba skins look like? Now I want to see.
Oh, they're hot. So I got the purple one.
Okay,
I think it's called Purple Rain.
Loba skins.
And the way she struts towards the camera when you select her in the character select screen, can we just talk about that for a second? Like,
I mean, she's got booty.
She got cake.
She's just got
like
style
Riana in Rainbow Six.
Ass. Oh yes, she is. She's thick. I like it.
Oh yeah.
Also, oh my gosh, this hair, with the shave on the sides. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yes.
Oh, it's super cool. Yeah, the Purple Rain. I'm partial to the double braids because I used to wear that hairstyle a lot back in the day. But I love the corset. Like I said, the corset with the peplum is super cute. I love these boots. I feel like this character art makes me want to play the game just so I could play as this character.
Yeah. When the world comes back, we should all cosplay as Loba.
Exactly. Yes. We'll just go as all different skins. Perf. I'm down.
Gorgeous.
Very cool. I'm glad that you have jumped back in and that you're having some fun. We should definitely play together. And we have also been playing, well, we don't really play this game together, but we've visited each other a couple of times. That's right, everybody. My obsession with Animal Crossing New Horizons continues to go deeper into a hole that I was not aware existed, and I'm worried for my sanity.
That's what she said.
So it was a really fun thing during the anniversary stream to get to visit a couple of people's islands. Thank you everybody who gave us gifts, who made all the custom shirts. Trevor Starkey has an amazing
I still need to
collection.
get my gifts from you. Did you use them all?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my god, you took my gifts.
Wait, what were they? What were they?
I grabbed, as your character, I grabbed double gifts from everybody so that I would have the ones because I didn't have my Switch with me.
Well, if you remember what the items are, I'd be happy to give them to you.
How would I remember? We didn't open them together. They were just little packages on the ground that you dumped.
Oh, I didn't open any extra packages.
Oh, okay. Then maybe they're still there somewhere on your island. Do you not remember where you dropped them? Were you that drunk?
There was no unopened packages on my island. Everything was open. Are you sure we didn't open them?
You may have opened them later without me, but
listen, there was a lot of alcohol consumption that day. It's very possible.
All right, you have all my gifts. It's fine.
Listen, I'm happy to gift you whatever was in those gift bags. We could also. Do you remember who we got them from?
Literally everybody.
Oh yeah, we still have them all in Discord.
Oh yeah, we could just reach out to them and be like, "Do you remember what you gave us? I need to make sure to give it to Steimer." But are you gonna keep playing?
I play it randomly when I just like get a hankering for it. I think I've only played like a couple of times, and I'll just wander around. Because again, the problem is, I know that if I go a little too far, like I'm never coming out. So I just like kind of splash around in the puddle instead of jumping into the lake, if that makes any sense. So I'm like, all right, sense. I'll go, and oh yeah, I hate all my villagers, so like fuck you guys, I've run away from you. And then I really want to terraform this island, but God knows how many bells that's gonna take, and I have never done the turnips thing. And
there's no bells required to terraform.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I need to figure out how to friggin' do it.
Yeah. So you have to get KK Slider, who is the elusive musician.
He doesn't like
me
yet.
Come visit your island. So your island has to get at least a 3-star rating, I believe.
Yeah.
My island is broke as a joke. It's not compared to everybody else. It's not.
But listen, the Animal Crossing community is vast. The only way to get a 3-star rating is just to decorate your island. So all you have to do is decorate. I got stuff to give you. That's it.
That's all you gotta do is actually think about it and
listen,
decorate.
if I can offload my current turnip inventory, I can like pay it forward with a loan.
I don't want a loan.
Maria paid it forward to me. But you don't want a loan?
No.
Well,
I want free money or no money at all.
Oh wow.
I'm not rich enough to give you free money. I believe one Joey Noel is rich enough to give you free money.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are plenty of people in our community that would gladly donate you some bells.
I only have like 500,000 bells.
Oh yeah, we can help you out.
I feel like if I manage to invest in the turnip stock market with those 500,000 bells, and then like post it on Twitter that I was looking for somebody with, I would be fine, and I would just be like, and now I'm a multi-millionaire. But I think honestly it would just make me sad because I realized that it's not that easy in real life to do that, and I wish that it was.
That's what was so poignant, right? About Tim Schafer's thoughts on the game. So thank you to Gary Whitta for having us on Animal Talking. It was a hilarious interaction. We, of course, stormed the set. He called us very rude.
He did not like that.
Multiple times. But he kept talking about other celebrities instead of talking to Tim. And we were like, yo, Gary's running like 30 minutes behind because he kept talking about other people that were on the show instead of talking to the people that were on the show currently. And so we were like, let's just storm the set. Let's go. But then he kept talking to Tim. And we were like, well, we don't want to interrupt Tim's time. We only want to interrupt Gary showboating about how many celebrities he knows. And so when the moment was right, when he shifted from talking to Tim to being like, Tim, I just want to use you for your connection to Jack Black.
And then Tim like made his Animal Crossing character sleep on the couch.
And we're like, now's the time to storm the set.
If Tim's sleeping.
Also, we had permission from Leah, the executive producer of Animal Talking. So
correct.
We didn't just do it
on our own
permission.
accord.
Leah gave us permission.
In fact, she gave us the idea.
It's true.
Not only did she give us permission, we weren't even thinking about it, and then she was like, "You can just do this if you want."
And then she's like, "Also, somebody sit in Gary's chair. He hates it when you sit in his chair. Somebody please try to sit in his chair."
I love that he hates it when you sit in his chair, but you have to sit in his chair at least for a second in order to get to the mic stand on his set because
he has too
everything
much
is so much that
he has one too many fake plants on his set. He just needs to get rid of some of the furniture.
Ooh,
it's gonna be like my new apartment where I'm gonna be like, I got too much furniture in here. Just gotta get rid of a little bit of it.
It's not meant to be shadery. It's meant to be logistical, practical. Listen, if you're going to have 4 or 5 little avatars running around, you got to give them pixels to run around.
Or you got to let them sit in your chair.
Yeah, or that.
Beggars and choosers.
It was super fun, though. But
it was fun.
The point I was trying to make was that Tim Schafer, during his interview with Gary, of course, Tim Schafer, legendary game designer, talked about how the lesson he learned from Animal Crossing was to slow down and to remember that you don't get everything you want right when you want it, and that it takes patience and it takes time. And the game has really reminded him that, as frustrating as it is, because you want the gameplay loop to go fast, that it's really a good lesson to look at life and go, the things that you want will happen. You have to work for them, and it takes time, and you can't rush the things that you like and the things that you love and the things that enrich your life. And I was like, gosh, damn, that's so deep.
It's true. It's unfortunate, but true.
Yeah.
I really just want to bulk craft like bait. Like these stupid clams take forever. You have to press A so many times.
Bulk crafting, yeah, it is a thing. It was funny that Gary asked us to vent. He's like, all right, I let everybody say what they don't like about the game, because I'm hoping that Nintendo was listening. And of course, Nintendo was watching that show every week. But did you have something that you
I picked the tarantula just for fun.
I
was like, it doesn't really bother me, but they are so aggressive that it just stands out as weird. Because the game otherwise is very slow and is very chill. And then so just to have one thing that just hunts you down like you heard it. I don't know. It was weird.
Especially since biologically they don't, as you pointed out, Reptile Wrangler.
Yeah.
And
they do not at all. They would like to not be around humans whatsoever.
Well, and they do such a great job with Blathers in the museum of reminding folks, especially now that Stamp Rally is happening in the game, of being like, yo, here's an educational experience built within the game where you can learn things about other species. And it's so well done and it's so cute, and I love the museum. And then they're like, we're actually just gonna say, fuck it, we're gonna make tarantulas mean because one of our game
aren't you
designers
afraid of
decided they hate
spiders
tarantulas.
already? Yeah, I'm like, what? Like, spiders get a bad enough rap. Maybe we don't need them chasing people down in this game.
Yeah. Scorpions, on the other hand.
Scorpions, a bunch of assholes.
I still haven't seen a scorpion yet.
I haven't either.
Oh my gosh, they are way scarier in Animal Crossing than the tarantulas, because they shake like a rattlesnake when you get close to them. Not only do they put their legs up like the tarantula does, but they like shake back and forth. And I'm just like, I'm still gonna catch you, but you're being really creepy right now.
Being a weirdo, and I don't like it. Be normal. Be a normal scorpion.
But I'm having a lot of fun. I think it's something that relaxes me when I've had a long day or I've had a stressful conversation with someone and I just like want to just chill and decorate. I'm now at the point where I feel like I can do things with my island, even though it still takes a long time, because, man, if I can only order 5 things in the catalog per day, it's going to take me a long time to get all the floor lights I want to decorate my entire island.
You want to put floor lights all over your island?
Not all over, but I want them in a couple of different spots. And you can only order up to 5 items, and I don't want to only order floor lights. I have other things I want to buy.
You're like, I need to consolidate all my ordering. It's like Amazon. You don't just buy the one thing. Yeah, that's interesting. I think that, and going to everybody's island really made me honestly be like, oh, I think the reason I have stopped playing is I don't have a vision for this yet. So, like, if you don't have a vision, you don't really have anything to work toward. So I'm just kind of like going in and dinking around, like picking up the fruit and leaving. So it was fun to see what everybody else had taken the time to create. I think that's super cool. Everyone else is a little bit more creative than me. Although, to be fair, I'm doing what they're doing, but in real life, because I'm sitting and obsessing over the new floor plan of my new apartment and doing similar shit where I'm like, where is this going to go? This is going to go here. Okay, measure that out exactly. Okay, perfect. That goes here. Where is this art going to go? Where's all my shit from my current place going to go in my new place?
It's the best part of moving for me. So yeah, planning everything out.
Once the new place is like settled, then I might be like, now it's time for Animal Crossing. And I feel like I understand what I need to do here.
I get that. I think that's been a good substitute for me because I have a lot of things that I want to buy and decorate in our new home here in LA, but we have like locked down obviously all of our spending like a lot of people have because so many things are uncertain. So it's like, well, I want to buy this thing for outside, but I can't. Well, I want to buy this thing for this room, but I can't. But I can decorate to my heart's content in Animal Crossing. I can have 3 hot tubs in my bathroom.
Just hot tub for everybody. Let's go. Yeah.
Exactly. But Ree, do you have a vision for your island? Is Gullah, is it cross 2 or times 2?
It's Gullah times 2 because I couldn't fit Gullah Gullah spelled out fully, unfortunately.
Gullah.
Yeah.
Throwback.
But I don't have a direct vision. I have pockets of visions. Like I know I want to do like an outside rock garden. I know that I want to do some sort of like outdoor cafe thing because I've seen a lot of that in examples on YouTube and on Reddit, and they're very cute, and I have a lot of that stuff. But I can't do anything right now because I'm trying to spawn my rocks in a really specific place right in front of my resident services. So I have mannequins all over my entire island in every 2x2 space. And it's a
that
nightmare.
must be creepy.
Well, they don't have faces. They're like dress forms.
That makes it worse.
Yeah, they're like dress forms. There's
there's
no head. So I went to Ree's Island today because Sahara, the rug dealer, was there. And also I needed to sell my oranges, and her fruit is cherries. So I was like, let me come sell. I have like 100 oranges I have to offload. And I was like, wow, there's a lot of weird mannequins everywhere, because the thing with rock spawning, there's like a whole art to it, right? You can only have X amount of patches available for them to spawn in or something.
Yeah, so a rock can spawn in any space with 8 squares around it available, and that includes grass or flowers.
Right?
So every 2 spaces horizontally and vertically, you have to put something there that you can't walk through. So walking around my island is literally like shimmying past a bunch of people in a crowd all day, every day. But thankfully, tomorrow should be the last day. I should have my last rock spawn in the right place, and then I can delete all of the mannequins. So
and then you'll have a beautiful rock garden. I definitely would love a rock garden because they always spawn in like the weirdest, randomest places. But I'm not ready. I don't have enough things.
You don't have enough mannequins
on my island. Yeah, where did you get all those mannequins from?
Yeah, I just made one custom palette that was just all pink, and I used that as a dress. And I believe if the tutorial online that I followed is correct, when I'm done, I can go to that custom design and just clear it, and it should delete all of the mannequins in one step.
Nice.
Hopefully. So
that'd be nice.
It's pretty straightforward.
Unless you did it wrong, in which case you have to manually delete every single one of those.
Lord help me, I hope not.
No, I think you'll probably be fine.
That seems intense.
It was a lot.
You'll be like, well, I give the island to the mannequins now. It belongs to you.
I've just given
no longer
up.
Gullah Gullah. It's Pink Mannequin Island.
It's pink mannequins. All day, every day.
PMI. That's what we're going to call it. So that's about all we've been playing, actually. There's a couple of games that are on my docket for next week. So you guys may have seen people talking about Maneater. Brittany and I played this game at PAX East just a few months back. This is the game where you play as a shark, and it's like an action. RPG game
that looks really fun.
Eat fish and attack.
Yeah.
So that game is out this week, but the pre-launch code had some pretty serious bugs in it from the notes that I got from the PR team. So I'm going to hold on playing that until they get the day one patch. So by the time the podcast airs, that patch should have been pushed. And so if you're playing it brand new, everything should be fixed. But that's just one of the unfortunate side effects.
Everything should be going swimmingly.
Yeah, I love it. Here for the puns. But that's
Nice.
just an unfortunate side effect of getting pre-release code. It's really cool that you get to play the game early, but a lot of the times the game is broken. So the team is working hard to fix those things. So hopefully next week I'll talk about Maneater, and then Steimer and I still have to do our co-op gameplay session of Star-Crossed.
Yeah, I tried playing that alone. I was like, no.
It takes a little bit of practice. So I think the only reason I got the hang of playing it alone, so this is a Magic Girl.
Oh, yes.
2D.
I remember this.
What kind of a game would you even call this? It's almost like a shmup, but it's not.
Yeah, it's like a shmup twin stick shooter thing. It's a weird combo. It's a strange. I couldn't figure out what to call it either.
Yeah, it's kind of like the gameplay of Geometry Wars in that sense, but the visual art style is all Magic Girl, which is amazing. I love the art in this game.
Yeah, the art's beautiful. I really like that.
And so we got to talk to this team at PAX East as well, and the game is out now, and they provided us with code, so thank you to the team for that. But it really is a co-op game, and like I said, the only reason I got to play it solo is because one of the developers on the team like walked me through how to play it solo.
It was just kind of breaking. I tried, and then I was like, it's breaking my brain a little bit. It's like it's a because you have to move one character one way and one character the other. And so I was like that. So what I would usually do is I'd just leave the one person alone and then like control one and kind of like arc around it. But that doesn't work very well in the later stages of the game.
I think it would be a fun game to stream because it's so visually really pretty.
Yeah.
So maybe we can find some time when you're not packing.
I'm not moving. Yeah.
Yeah, when you're not doing things.
Yeah.
But look forward to that. We'll have more to talk about next week. And if you guys missed any of the anniversary stream, again, you can catch that archive at twitch.tv/what'sgoodgames. We've also got plenty of videos, including our compilation of funny stuff, which is quite hilarious if I do say so myself. And of course, our community video. Thank you again to everybody who sent videos in. It was such an amazing time watching all of you talk about why you love What's Good Games and what makes our WGG community so special. Both of those videos, of course, up on our YouTube channel. And that's going to do it for us today. We will see you guys Monday morning at 11 a.m. Pacific time on Twitch for What's Good Games Live. But until then, have a great weekend, everybody. Goodbye.